Good day, I'm Chase Rocker.
And I'm Brittany Houston. Today, we shine light on individuals who have faced major challenges and have made inspiring comebacks for the greater good.
From overcoming adversity to giving back to their communities, these stories remind us how resilience, hope, and determination can truly turn lives around.
Stay with us as we explore the stories of Don't Call It a Comeback.
A remarkable story out of Iowa State University to begin. Annie Hewen, a junior, has defied the odds after a life-threatening medical emergency.
What started as a family vacation turned into a battle for Annie's life.
We hear how Annie's persistence and strength continue to inspire those around her.
Iowa State student Annie Hewen has quite the first impression among her friends.
I just thought she was so funny.
And she's so beautiful and so kind. And capable and persistent.
One thing we say a lot is, you're so smart and beautiful and capable. And then we always text each other, we must persist.
Between the lines of a lighthearted inside joke are words with a deeper meaning. Annie Hewen has continued to be persistent in her life. During spring break of her senior year of high school, family vacation would turn into a 2-month battle.
I head up to lay on the bed because we were stuck in a car for 10 hours and then 9 hours, I think. I lay in bed, I was calling my significant other, and then I don't have any memory of what happened next. Apparently, I passed out and then I had a seizure. That's when I was taken to the hospital. I think they performed emergency surgery on me.
On July 4th, 2021, Annie suffered a hemorrhagic stroke due to a rare condition called arteriovenous malformation, a condition in which there is an abnormal tangle of blood vessels in the brain. According to the Barrow Neurological Institute, AVM affects less than 1% of the U.S. population, yet only 12% of the affected population will develop symptoms. While the rest of Hewen's family returned home, her mother remained by her side.
She was there for basically the whole time. I don't even know when she showered.
After 1 month in a coma, Annie and her mother traveled back home via medical plane to Des Moines. Plane itself was challenging to acquire for the Hewen family, and so was the road ahead.
Actually, my insurance didn't want to pay for the medical plane because they heard that I was apparently walking again, but I was walking with a Walkman, and I still had to have a lot of support. I basically I got off the medical plane and I was basically wheeled into On With Life for inpatient rehabilitation, and I stayed there for 1 month. There was a schedule every day, occupational, speech, and physical therapy. So yeah, I did that every day for a month.
So our actual mission statement is joining hands, hearts, and minds to help people living with brain injury or another neurological condition get on with life. And that spans across a whole lot of our programs.
After months of physical and speech therapy, Annie still graduated as valedictorian. Nonetheless, the ordeal has made a permanent impact.
I don't even think that I can be 100% anymore. I just feel like my aneurysm was such a life-changing event. One person I really appreciate meeting was my friend Jess, because we basically had all of our classes together, so we would study for every class together.
It was really hard to fathom that 2 years ago she couldn't walk or talk or do anything. Knowing that she's had to overcome a lot of mental battles after her aneurysm, and knowing that she's still continuing in software engineering is really inspiring me.
Against all odds, Annie is still on course to graduate.
So I switched to software engineering, and I'm still on track, but I'm a junior. So I'm going to graduate like in 2 years.
This has been Henry Gonzalez with Evergreenly News, where our stories stay fresh for you.
Next, The Closet provides students in need with a variety of clothing, from winter wear to business attire, ensuring students are ready, no matter the weather or occasion.
From sparkly shoes and Christmas sweaters to ties and jewelry, The Closet supplies students with a variety of clothing. The Closet, located within the Multicultural Center, serves as an aid for students in need of clothes for Iowa's various seasons.
The Closet is a little bit more flexible, so we do have business attire in there, but like right now we're doing a winter wear event so that folks can come get like coats and sweaters and jeans, which you might not necessarily wear to a career fair or like a job interview, but you certainly need in this Iowa winter, this Iowa weather.
It can be difficult for international students to get proper winter clothing. Luckily, The Closet has all of the winter gear you could ever need.
And I really appreciate because being an international student, it really helps us to get some clothes. I think my experience is really nice. I was able to find what I'm looking for. Yeah, the winter clothing. It's really nice.
Holly Clemens is the Student Services Program Specialist in the College of Health and Human Sciences, but she also had a key role in starting The Closet and now serves as the advisor.
So when I was in grad school, I was helping Carmen kind of put on the pop-up shop, and The Closet didn't exist yet. So when I was in my penultimate semester, I kind of realized that The Closet was a necessity and wanted to turn it into a student organization. So I thought, well, I'm not going to be a student for much longer. Let me go ahead and get this started. So I created the Closet Student Organization, nominated myself as graduate liaison, and then had that title through the rest of my graduate program.
Clemens also helps with the pop-up shop, a once-a-semester event where students can pick out a business attire outfit for formal interviews and events such as a career fair.
So the pop-up shop is that 2-day event. So that is strategically scheduled before the career fairs every semester. So that is a focus on business attire, so like suits, pants, dresses, stuff that you would wear to the career fair.
Although The Closet doesn't make any money, helping students find new clothes is enough payment for those who run it.
The smiles that come from people's faces after they have like their giant bundles of just clothes is just amazing.
Like the minute that we see that we're making a positive impact on students, that's when all of the labor that goes behind this project really becomes like valuable.
This has been Brittany Houston reporting for Evergreenly News. Our stories stay fresh for you. A wonderful resource for students in need, The Closet continues to make a meaningful impact on campus, one coat in one business suit at a time.
Absolutely.
Next, the story of two basketball players that made comebacks after substantial injuries.
This is not just a tale of basketball. It's about the perseverance and the unbreakable will to return to the game that they love.
Everyone loves a good comeback story, especially in Iowa State athletics. I'm Blake Peterson with Evergreenly News, and today I have a tale of two comebacks in Iowa State women's basketball, Emily Ryan and Stephanie Suarez.
Stephanie Suarez was a Cyclone newcomer in 2022, all the way from Brazil. She had come into this year with a previous ACL injury, but had since recovered. Conference play had started for the Cyclones, and Iowa State had traveled to Norman, Oklahoma to face the Sooners, in which she suffered another ACL injury in the same knee. The Cyclones had lost one of their best performers in modern history. Coach Bill Fenley then took to submit waivers to the NCAA. After trying to go through every possible loophole, her waiver was denied since Suarez was too far into the season. The entire organization and Suarez were devastated. Suarez then shifted her focus on the WNBA draft, in which she was the 4th overall pick, the highest in school history. Although she wouldn't get immediate playing time, Suarez would spend the 2023 season as a grad assistant at Iowa State, while using the resources that Iowa State had to help her with recovery. And as of 2024, Stephanie Suarez is part of the active roster of the Dallas Wings. Emily Ryan entered her true senior season on a bit of a slow start. Before the 2023 season, reports had come out that Emily Ryan would be out indefinitely due to a, quote, health-related issue. This was a major blow to begin the season, as she would also miss out on the 2023 Women's Cyhawk game in Hilton. On December 17, 2023, Emily Ryan finally made a return to the court against the Troy Trojans with a standing ovation from the Hilton Coliseum crowd. She would start off with limited minutes and would progress with every game. Before the 2024 season, Emily Ryan and the women's basketball team opened up on what held her back in the previous year. She had revealed she had developed an eating disorder after pushing herself beyond her limits. After this, she was physically unable to perform on the court. And during postseason in 2024, Ryan had spent 88 days in an eating disorder facility in Denver in order to be at her best for her 5th year. This year, she is back in full glory and so far starting in every game this season. Both of these and more comeback stories have happened right here in the heart of Iowa State.
This has been Blake Peterson reporting for Ever Greenlee News, where our stories stay fresh for you.
At Iowa State, innovation is dynamic. It's collaborative. It's inviting ideas from all corners and working across disciplines. Because we've learned when ideas are shared, we all benefit. Innovate at Iowa State.
Welcome back. Now we turn our focus to Hamilton Hall, where therapy dogs are bringing comfort and a much-needed mood boost to students.
We will take a closer look at how Press Pause is helping students at the Greenlee School.
Comebacks come in many forms, but one of the unspoken comebacks is seen in Hamilton Hall on the Iowa State University campus.
Acknowledgement. She's a great dude. I know, isn't she?
After a hard day of studying, work, or any other stress-inducing activity students tend to experience, students from the Greenlee School come to room 178B in Hamilton Hall for a mood booster, or better yet, a comeback.
Oh, I mean, I come in here to de-stress all the time. One of my teachers is the owner of Dory, and I've hung out with Zoe a couple times. I find myself just relaxing a bit, like after I'm done here, like after I'm done with a class or an exam, and I know there's a time I'll come and visit. It's just like a great way to calm myself down or get rid of some of that test anxiety.
Therapy dogs of all kinds walk through these doors, waiting to bring a sense of calm to students from all walks of life.
So we have a professor that just retired last year named Jay Newell, and he had always wanted to do something with dogs because his dog is a therapy dog. So last year we started Press Pause before he retired, and so he kind of got it started. But I do the event coordination at Greenlee, so scheduling and stuff like that, it made sense for me to do it, and we have liked it so much, and there's been so much pickup from it that we just continued on, and I need to get planning for next semester.
Certified therapy dog Zoe visits Iowa State students on a regular basis.
She has, we passed the ARL Therapets test in March. We visited several schools, rehab, and physical therapy rehab. And we have been to Greeley here one other time.
With every visit Zoe makes, students leave with a new sense of serenity, and Zoe leaves with plenty of pets and treats. This has been Abby Altman and Lucas Thompson with Ever Greenlee News. Our stories stay fresh for you.
Misspoke, didn't you? She just turned into an introvert for a second.
What a heartwarming way to help students manage stress. Next up, Iowa State Wrestling head coach Kevin Dresser is returning for another 4 years after leading the Cyclones to a Big 12 title in 2023.
With his hardworking mentality, Dresser has built one of the most competitive programs in the country. We will take a closer look at what his extension means for the team's future.
Let's hear from Coach Dresser and the Cyclones as they prepare for another exciting season.
Iowa State wrestling coach Kevin Dresser is coming back for another 4 years after leading the Cyclones to a Big 12 title in 2023. His new extension is no surprise. Dresser's hardworking mindset has led the Cyclones to many historic accomplishments.
It's a really competitive, tough room right now, and so hopefully when they get over there across the street, things will be easier than they are in this room today at 3 o'clock. So I think that's been our a battle cry as a coaching staff is we have to have a really competitive room and everybody needs to show up.
Kevin Dresser's extension is an exciting thing for many of the wrestlers, specifically Anthony Echemendia, who is coming off of a 5th place finish at the national tournament in 2023.
We have a very special coaching staff. You know, all these guys are All-Americans, national champions, Olympians. I'm getting chills talking about this because, I never thought that I was going to be in a room like that, and I'm just grateful for it.
Coach Dresser knows what it takes to get his wrestlers ready to compete, and that starts with figuring out the ideal starting lineup. After finishing 4th place at the national tournament last year, the Cyclones have a lot to work with.
So, it wasn't a perfect puzzle. I can tell you the coaching staff, we've had hours and hours and hours of meetings of hypotheticals. And sometimes just an injury will force your hand a little bit.
Whether it's coaching from the side of the mat or a simple high five after a win, Iowa State knows Coach Dresser will give the Cyclone wrestling team his best effort, and they're glad he's coming back. This has been Keegan Jensen reporting with Ever Greenlee News. Our stories stay fresh for you.
With a strong foundation in place, Iowa State wrestling looks poised for even greater achievements.
Absolutely. We'll be watching closely as the team gears up for another exciting season.
After the break, we'll see how one Iowa State staffer dealt with the aftermath of a tornado demolishing her home. You're watching Ever Greenlee News. Our stories stay fresh for you.
When the pandemic arrived, time stood still. But the innovators at Iowa State didn't. Their drive went into overdrive, developing models that track and forecast the virus, making data more accessible to scientists and doctors worldwide, collaborating to expand testing capacity for faster results, exploring a viral testing platform as portable as your phone. This is what a changing world needs. Innovation in overdrive.
Now we learn that after a tornado tore through Nevada, Iowa, the Lounsbury's family farm was left in ruins.
But despite the damage, the family is staying positive, thanks to the support of her community. Today, we share her story of rebuilding and resilience.
Let's take a closer look.
This is farmland that has been in the Lounsbury family for over 100 years. At first, it looks like a normal field post-harvest, but one can see the aftermath of a home that was ravaged by a tornado that swept through Story County back in May. Cheryl Lounsbury remembers her house fondly.
We always had Christmas at our house, and it was always fun to see 30 people in this house. And so it only has happy memories, this house. Bringing, grandma and everybody in. So those are my memories.
On May 21st, the tornado hit the city of Nevada, and a true nightmare began to form.
To WHO, and I heard there was a tornado in Cambridge, and I was like, oh, I called my significant other and told him, I said, you need to get to safety because there's a tornado in Cambridge, not knowing what was coming.
After the dust cleared, it was apparent that her community had her back.
A lot of my coworkers came. My director, they walked the fields, got all the stuff out of the fields. It was a mess. And my farmer, who is my renter, he was key. He had equipment. I mean, he moved things. We got things buried and burnt and,
Once everything was cleared, Cheryl began to see what was gone.
The one thing that really is just heart-wrenching is the trees that are gone. You will not see the trees like that ever again. So, I'm not going to be old enough to see 50, 80-year-old maple tree.
Amidst all of the devastation that she has been through, Cheryl still has a positive outlook.
I'm very fortunate that I am building a house. Very fortunate.
This has been Caleb Polking with Evergreenly News. Our stories stay fresh for you.
Glad to see the Lounsburys are well on their way to a rebuild.
Finally, we will see the story of Tom Bass, an ISU professor who went through a challenging health journey that would change his life forever.
Despite facing serious medical battles, Tom found strength through his faith, family, and the unwavering support of his Iowa State community. Today, we share how the Cyclone Spirit helped him through his toughest times.
Here's Tom's story of resilience and recovery.
In October of 2014, Tom Bass began his day suspecting he was having a bout with the flu. He and his wife attended a doctor's appointment to prevent dehydration from the illness. An hour after their arrival, they received a diagnosis they will never forget.
Okay, well, I was first diagnosed with leukemia in October of 2014. And I underwent chemo treatments, was in the hospital for 28 days initially. Underwent a bunch of chemo treatments, then was able to go home, back in, and 5 different rounds of chemo. And at that point, at the end of that, we thought everything was okay. And then, at the end of December then, that's when leukemia came back.
While grad students, community, and faculty alike rallied around Tom, it wasn't just his many responsibilities at the university that they were helping to take care of. They also found a way to rally around him and raise support.
When he was going through his transplant, a group of students had a Be the Match during VISHA, had a Be the Match, or they organized a group and they signed up people to be the match, and they shaved their heads for Tom. A whole bunch of them. One professor here also shaved his head, and so it was in his honor. So it's just a wonderful place to be.
While doctors advised him not to return work in 2017, Tom now enjoys his retirement, surrounded by community and cheering on the Cyclones.
I look back at that, and the things that got me through, the health challenges and such that I had were, first of all, my faith in God, my family, and my friends who supported me through all of that. And that was, many of those were friends here in animal science. It was also students that were very supportive of everything that we did.
Fueled by community, faith, and family, the Bosses are proud to call Iowa State home.
This has been Kylie Allen reporting for Evergreenly News. Our stories stay fresh for you.
What an inspiring group of individuals. Tonight's stories remind us that no matter the setback, a comeback for the good is always possible.
Absolutely. Whether it's overcoming personal challenges or making a difference in the community, these comebacks show the power of resilience and hope.
We hope tonight's stories inspired you as much as they did us. Thank you for joining us for Don't Call It a Comeback. This has been Chase Rocker
and Brittany Houston reporting for Evergreenly News. Our stories stay fresh for you.
Oh my god, it was just like getting whacked so hard.
Yeah, this weekend I was drinking my coffee, she jumps up on the couch, I immediately grab my cup. just gone anywhere. Yeah, your tail.
Dogs knock things over by accident. Cats are on purpose.
Right. Yes.
I
had 2 cats before her. Yeah.
Yeah. My cat really likes to knock like glasses off the counter.